Hey, Pat. The first one in. Hey, Pat. I was talking to Eric, right? And he was telling me how you're making people cry on presentations. Is that correct?
I've made a few people cry, yeah, in the needs analysis.
Oh man, what is it that you do? He's telling me it's your eyes.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what I do, man.
I just want to make sure because I don't want them to start calling me saying, "Yo, this guy made me cry." It's all right though. At least I know now. So
yeah, it's true. You're well prepared.
So you say you're back in Pittsburgh, right?
I'm in Philly right now at my girlfriend's place, but I'm coming back to Chicago Monday morning.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's just up.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, bro. Just slinging insurance wherever I'm at.
Yeah, for real, man. You were always making a freaking sub, dude.
Yeah.
How many sets do you have every day or daily?
How many appointments?
Yeah.
Today I only have 6, but I already got 5 for Sunday. So I try to have at least like 6 to 10 every field day.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Let's do it. All right, Mr. Josh is here.
Me and Pat. It's just me and you today, Pat.
All right.
Oh man. So what's this? This is tough. I don't know.
Because you're gonna be seeing everybody there.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. All right.
But would you like it over there and just I'll put
No.
This is good here.
This is good. Okay.
Cool. So what we're learning today, Josh?
What do you want to learn today, Edgar?
Yeah, I want to learn everything that you have, all your skills.
Want me to put my brain into yours?
That'll work. Oh, I need one game too, because I'll be in front of the desk.
I got yeah, look at Mason. Mason, I owe you $20. You hear me, Mason? Mason comes up to me last night, like right before it's 9 p.m. He's like, I bet you I have more business than you. I was like, all right. And of course, Tommy was there and they made me bet him $20. So I basically just donated to the Mason lunch fund.
Hey, I'll take that in a hard crispy 20, brother.
Where's my March Madness money?
Yes, we gotta get you that. We gotta get you that today.
Brown, that was at $20 too. Yeah, Matt Brown does something for you. You bet with him yesterday too? No, just nice.
Hey, Joshua, that could be just Mason Tortoise on Cash App, brother. I need gas today. Let me find out. Ryan
Wait,
got the
everyone,
fresh
we'll start in
shave. I see
2
you,
minutes,
bro.
okay?
Hey, I had to get freshened up on them, man. You know how we do.
I see you. What's good, P Money?
What's up, Mace?
Shit, brother.
Nice sale last night.
Yeah, you know, I had to get the dub over J Money over there, so I'll be taking that dub. You better believe that.
Oh, Mason. Mason's
So
funny.
crazy. I'm over here just
When
taking
Mason
money
got a
from
lock, he's all over it. He's all over it when he got a lock for sure. He's
bro.
gotten everything.
Someone is running the sales copy that I beat last night. How wonderful is that, guys?
He writes 4K
Hey,
in 1
you
week.
know what?
He's the man.
What we're gonna do is we're just gonna give it to Mason this morning to run it because he waxed my butt last night with his little.
Yeah,
400.
we're talking straight bars. That's all we're talking about.
All right, we got like another minute and then we'll get started here, guys. If you guys want to go over anything, is there anybody that wants to go over anything in general? I'll write it down on the notes this way I don't forget. Eric Barrios is like, I just want to learn how to dress good. I was like, huh? We'll put fashion on there, bro. We don't got to do that. All right, cool.
Jay, I got a question, bub.
What's up, Mace?
So I had a person ask me about what happens if they die to their cash value if they don't borrow or pull from it, because it just the family doesn't get the tax-free payout plus the tax or the cash value, right?
Correct.
And I didn't know. I didn't know like the back end to explain to that in professional words.
Okay. We'll touch on it. Dang, we got a packed house in here. This is cool. It's 10 o'clock. Everyone should be in now. All right. Admit all. That's why. Admit. We got big chairs in here. All right. Is this everybody? How cool are these things? Tommy got these for every office. Basketball hoop, garbage cans. Right? You can play paper toss, right? All right, cool. So obviously sales coffee every Tuesday and every Friday. You get to, get together and, learn something. So I hope everyone got pen and paper out. This way we can just jot some notes down. I'm an open book. I love to sit here and answer questions. I got 8 years of experience, which, time flies in this business. The one thing I'll tell you guys is just never give up. Just outlast people. Just like Coach Giggs says, just like all the people that have been here for 10, 20 years, they all just say outlast people. I know, in this business, that's the hardest thing. It's just being able to stay consistent, and consistency builds wealth, especially at American Income, because if you can stay consistent throughout your career, then you could build up a huge base with your residual income at Jans. Okay. So today, what we're going to go over, I got some questions. People wanted to go over referrals. They wanted to go over closing. They wanted to go over retention. So I was like, okay, I could spend quite some time on that. Now I got to get off exactly at 10:50 because we have another meeting on this link. So, I'll try and zip through this. And if you guys need anything, just raise your hand. Don't be afraid to speak up. Okay. So, just getting started, referrals, obviously, referrals is important in any business, but, with you guys working virtually, I've been sitting in on sits of trainees that are just getting released, and referrals is like, it's the key. That's their ALP. You got to treat the referrals like that's your ALP. Like, don't even worry about making the sale. Just worry about collecting the referrals. And when you have all the referrals, like Javon doesn't care if he has a lead pack or not, because he has a whole stack of referrals in his impact already where he can just click the button and call them at all times, right? And don't ever get rid of them until they like tell you to go kick rocks, right? Like just call those things, blow those things out. And they're the best because, you know, sitting down with a hard card is 1 out of 3. You know, you sit down with a hard card, 1 out of 3 will typically buy. But when you sit down with a referral, it's 2 out of 3 to 3 out of 4. So why wouldn't you work really hard, sit down with that hard card, spend a little bit more time with them, collect some referrals, right? And then anybody you sit down with, you basically double your income. Like you double it. So you sit down with 12 leads in a week, you get 4 enrollments. You sit down with 12 referrals in a week, you get 8 or 9 enrollments. Same amount of time, double the amount of money. It's called working smart, right? So, and the cool part is referrals, like it's so hard to get those first initial ones off the hard cards. You know, you're scratching, you're calling sometimes to get those first couple referrals. But as soon as you sit down with those referrals, all they know is referrals. That's it. So basically, guys, with you know getting in front of the first group, it's the hardest. But once you get in front of those referrals, all they know is referrals. Because how were they get into the program? They were referred, right? So you should be able to really stack it on right after on that second wave. What's up?
Can we go over for referrals, the union catch-up program?
Yeah, so there's different types of avenues of collecting referrals, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. One of them, AD&D. Another one, Child Safe, right? You guys know all the avenues. Third is Health Service Discount Card. You got the catch-up program, like he said. Will Kit, insurance referrals, contingent beneficiary referrals, VIBs, right? There's so many different avenues to collect referrals. What if you just collected one off of each in every house? You would have like 7 referrals out of every house. If you just collected one referral off of each avenue of how you could collect referrals in the house, you would get 7 referrals out, right? But you guys should be getting like 10 Child Safe, you know, at least 5. We got a whole bunch of people that are late. That's why some people miss the workshops, because the person gets going and then the late people get on and then they never see the button and they never click it and they're sitting there texting their manager like, they won't let me in. It's because you were late. You know what I mean? So you got to be on time for the workshops. And that's, you know, another thing is like time is the most important thing. And we'll get into that because I don't know what you guys do with your time. You know, your guys, you get to run an entrepreneurial lifestyle and, you know, time is the most precious thing. So I don't know what you guys do with your time, but I know when I was an agent, all I had to do was set appointments and see clients. There was no other really responsibilities as an agent. So, you know, with your time, make sure you just use it the right way. It's like silly not to. All right, catch-up program. He wanted to go over catch-up program. So you sit down with a union member, you know, let's just say he's a, what kind of leads have you been sitting down with lately? SEIU. All right, so they're an SEIU member. Sitting down with this SEIU member, let's say they're the local one out here in Chicago. They're a bunch of janitors. They're, you know, a bunch of utility workers a lot of times, right? Well, you sit down with these members and you're going over the program. Now, they usually work in a facility or a building. So ask them in rapport, you know, how long have you been working there? Oh, you've been there for 5 years? Okay, great. Well, listen, you've been here for not even a year yet. How many phone numbers do you have? You know what I'm saying? Like, you probably got 10 phone numbers of people that work here, right? Yeah, so you only been here a year. So he's been there for 5 years. He probably got a few people's phone numbers that he works with, okay? So when you're meeting with the member, after you go over the AD&D certificate, say, you know, hey, one thing they have us doing is they have what's called the catch-up program, where they have you know, refer 5 people that you work with into the program to get caught up. So who are your 5 friends at work that might not have got these benefits yet, that we can run them through the system to see if they got their benefits, and I'll put them to the front of the list too, and I'll get them out, you know, their benefits quickly, and I'll tell them it's because of you, and I'll give you all the credit. You know what I mean? And I'll kind of like build it up and make it fun, you know, and exclusive, like, hey, look, I can actually get your buddy at your work that had no idea about this benefit to the front of the list because of you. So maybe you could tell me, oh, it's your lunch, right? But build the stuff up. You got to be excited about referrals. Like, you can't just be like asking for referrals like some lame ass person asking for referrals. You like literally have to think it's the best thing since sliced bread. Like, it has to be. Like, If you're sitting there like, oh, look at this child safety kit, give me 10 of your friends, they're gonna be like, dude, like, no, what are you talking about? You have to build up that child safety kit. You have to build up that catch-up program. Hey, one of the reasons why we do the catch-up program is because we send out all these cards, and sometimes the members just don't send back in the card. They forget. So what they have us doing is while we're out here meeting with all the members, is just referring 5 of your closest friends at your work so that we can make sure that they got their benefits program, getting them caught up into the program. So who are your 5 closest friends at work that you work with? Okay, great. Who's next? Who's next? Who's next, right? And just get it. All you need is a name and number. You know what I mean? It's not hard. And if they're not comfortable giving you the name or number, well, just tell them, listen, hey, I personally won't even reach out to them until you call them first. Hardest part about my job is calling somebody that doesn't know I'm supposed to be calling, right? I don't want them to think I'm some type of telemarketer or something, right? Ha ha ha. So whatever you want to say. You can't just go through the motions though with referrals. That's something I wrote down on my list here. I got some notes, right? I didn't just come in here like I'm gonna wing it. Got some notes for you guys today. And you got to bring the energy and excitement. Like you got to be excited to talk about it, right? When you're new, like you probably were telling everybody about this career opportunity with some excitement, right? You were like, oh my God, I started a new career and all this stuff's happening. They're giving away all this money, right? You're excited. You got to be like that with the clients too. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Smile. Smile. It helps. It helps. If you're trying to collect referrals, like looking miserable, it's probably not going to work out too well in your favor. All right. So body language is everything too. You guys realize we're on a screen now. Like literally, this is all we have. Lights, camera, action every single time. Lights, camera, action. And that's from Rick Altick, right? He gets $1 million a month in his residual income. Come on, right? So lights, camera, action. Every presentation, you can give it the same way. Just try and get better at it every single time. And like I'm moving my arms in the presentation. I'm showing them my smile. I'm raising my voice. I'm lowering my voice. I'm being very animated. I'm asking a lot of questions. I'm using tie downs. Last month was great. I got more activity last month than I probably got ever being virtual and crushed it. Crushed it. It was amazing. And all it was just I had tons of activity. I had 35 to 40 appointments set a week. That's how you get this thing going. You can't go out there and think you're going to write business setting 12 appointments in a week. You can't go out there and think you're going to be good like setting 8 appointments for the week, bro. Like you might give 4 presentations, you might make 1 sale, and you make $400 and be broke. All right. And you're probably gonna have a chargeback hitting anyway. So you make $100. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you got to literally go out there and your goal needs to be write a deal a day. Like if you can't write a deal a day, you're an agent. What are you doing? Doesn't make sense. Consistency builds wealth. Brian Gilmore told me that. He's the guy who's like a director with the company now. And it's pretty cool because like I was blessed enough to come into the agency and get trained by a few different people and see a couple different avenues. And, I was always the make a friend, make a sale type of guy. He was more like the business, we're getting straight to business type of guy, right? So that helped me grow up, and it actually helped my retention because when I was make a friend, making sale, I was missing things. I wasn't going over the end of the presentation, which we'll get into shortly, okay? But let's stay on referrals for a minute. So with the child safety kit, I got a brand new trainee. She just gets released. I'm riding out with her. She probably doesn't know too much yet. You guys been here for 5, 6, 7, 8 months, right? And she's collecting more referrals than you. Why? She's saying the script. She's not doing anything different. She's saying the script. She's saying the words on the paper. And you know what? It works. So it just tells me you guys ain't saying the words. If I can get somebody that has no idea how to do this business, come in here, and within 2 weeks, they're collecting all these referrals, why can't you? Why can't you? Is she better? No, she's not. Not yet. She will be. She keeps doing what she's doing, right? But she's saying the words. You got to say the words, all right? Just say the words to the people. You'll get referrals. Some people are going to tell you go kick rocks. There's going to be other people to give you 20 of them. Just keep saying the words. All right. Don't be afraid. So once you get the list, here's the key is once you get your list of referrals, here's the key. You ready? Ready? So out of all these people you just gave me for these child safety kits, I run a really booked up schedule. I'm meeting with all the police officers and all the firefighters this week, but I did promise them I would get these kits out to as many families as I can in between. Who are maybe your top 3 people? If you can only pick 3 that you'd want to get these kits out to, who would they be? Oh, it would be your sister, your cousin, and your aunt? Okay, great. Hey, real quick, just because it's going to be really hard for me to reach them, can you give them a call so we can just get them on my schedule? I promise you guys, if you try this, you're going to love your life. And if they say they're at work, just say, no problem. Can you just leave them a message? Say that I'm going to be calling them today from a 412 area code. Just so they have a heads up. And listen, not everyone's going to do it. But if some do it rather than none do it, it's still better than what you had going on. So why not spend a couple seconds, get them to place that first initial call to introduce yourself, to introduce you to them, right? And then next thing you know, it's game over, especially if you're sitting down with an older lady like a grandma for these child safety kits or a will kit. If she could call her kids while you're right there, you're in. Their kids are going to answer mom and dad's call most of the time, right? And if they answer mom and dad's call and mom and dad's telling them to sit down with somebody, they're most likely going to do it, all right? So just do it. It's so easy. Like you guys, I feel like so many people work really, really hard. And that's great, but just start working smart. Like I literally used to run the field, like drive 2 hours and work from 4 to 9. I see people here grinding from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's phenomenal. It's amazing. I'm like, holy cow, you guys got it, right? But you can work so much smarter too. Okay. So get them on your schedule. And then, we already went over what the referrals, on selling leads is. The hardest initial referral is off the hard card. Once you get those ones, all they know is referrals, right? And then I got this VIBs. I got it in an email. I'll send it out to the people on the email, but I got this VIBs here. This is something that Tommy Vina was really big on when we were coming up. He would always be like VIBs, 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 right? So VIBs stands for, it's an acronym. V is for value. I is for important question. Can you pass these out? I got a printout for everyone here. So I is for important question. B is for brainstorm. And S is for suggestion. So how this works is, you're sitting down with Joe and Mary. You just went over a lot of important information today. And, we got your family set up with a great benefits program. But let me ask you, what value did you find in meeting with me today? That's the V, right? What value did you find in meeting with me today? Get them to tell you that they enjoyed working with you. Like, get them talking like, yeah, you were great. You went over everything thoroughly. You explained it properly. You made it make sense. Awesome. And use active listening. Okay, so you like that I made it make sense and I was thorough for you, right? And repeat. Active listening is basically just repeating what they just said back to you. And then you hit them with the important question. So, now Joe and Mary, with all that in mind, I have a very important question that I would like to ask you. And usually you're going to say, all right, what's the question, right? Well, I would like to brainstorm, that's the B, with you about some people who you would know that would benefit from working with me as well. And then roll right into suggestions. You ready for some suggestions? Because some people are like, well, what'd I say? Who do you know that just got married? Who do you know that just had a baby? Who do you know that just started a house? You can say, just give me first names only right now. And just get them thinking. Who do you know that just had a baby? Who do you know that just, bought a house? Who do you know that just finished college? Get some referrals for recruits. Why not? Who do you know that just got engaged? Who do you know that just got divorced? Right? Hey, they get divorced. They usually just end all their benefits like goofballs sometimes, and they need to start all over. right? So, hey, it happens. I can't even tell you how many times I sat down with somebody who's like, oh yeah, I had all that insurance and then I got divorced and now I got to start all over. Perfect. It's going to be $180 a month. You know what I mean? So, and then give them suggestions. You know, oh, look, that was on there. How about that? I didn't even see that. Who do you know that just retired? That was one of them. Or switch jobs. You know, when you switch jobs, quit, fire, retire, what happens to all your workplace benefits, guys? Go away, right? So that's a good question. And then you get them to throw some suggestions out there. You maybe even get their first names only. Once you get their first names, then you could go back and get the number. But get them going. Get them going. And then another thing that always worked for me with referrals, I promise you guys, every year I get a few calls a year. All right. The first set of calls usually comes from people that just see my business card on their fridge. All right. They just see my business card on their friend's fridge or on their family's fridge. And they're like, hey, I was over my grandma's and I seen your card. She has insurance through you. I was thinking, you know, I need to start getting insurance because I'm starting a family. Boom. Always a lock all day. Got to be sending business cards with magnets in your packages. All right. Do that. eBay, get the business card magnets. They're like $30 for 500 of them. Okay. Every time you make a sale, put a freaking business card, just unstick it, slap it on the back of your card, put it in that package with the thank you card. They throw that up on the fridge, it's there forever. People put magnets on their fridge, they're there forever. They don't go away. The second set of calls that I typically will get would be, you know, I'm really big into like, I like to work smart, guys. I'm like super lazy sometimes. So you know, basically what happens is when I make a sale, I tell people, hey, listen, if you happen to know anybody that can ever benefit from having one of these programs, anything that I just went over for you today, if you refer them in and they get it with me, I'll give you a gift card. Listen, if you get a client to spend $50 a month with you, how much money will you make? $300. With 600 ALP, you make $300. You can't give that client $50. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you give that client $50 in a gift card, all right, they're gonna remember that. And anytime anybody ever thinks about life insurance, they're gonna think of you. All right. Now, here's another thing. I've had clients that spent $170 a month with me before too, right? The person that referred them in, I don't mind giving them a $100 gift card. Just saying. I mean, it's your business. Remember, you got tax write-offs. Okay, figure it out. Rather you spend the money to make more than give it to Uncle Sam, right? So referrals, like, work smart, give out gift cards. You know, I tell people, you know, we don't necessarily do it too much anymore, but when we were in the homes, you know, if you make it to 10 referrals, you get a prize. I'd literally give them scratch offs. You know, you give me 10 referrals, I'll give you $1 scratch off. It's 10 cents a referral. I'll do that all day. You get a chance to win $500. You get a prize. You know what I mean? They don't know what the prize is. And you can tell them you'll send them a prize in the package if they make it to 10. I don't know. Why not? Okay. So we went over VIBs. Closing. Let's talk a little bit about closing. So there's a bunch of different types of closing. People do laptop, people do ABC, people do the 2-job. Most of the people here do ABC, right? Most of you guys are ABC closers. Some people are closing right off the laptop. Okay. I ABC, been doing it for years. I love it. It's easy. And I feel like they can't tell me no when I ABC. I'm like, there's no way you're telling me no. All right. So ABC, you know, before you show the options, and just real quick, I just want to make sure we kind of have an idea, right? A, B, C. You guys know your ABCs, right? No, I'm just kidding. Let's just say this is 100K. Let's just say this is, you know, 60K. And let's just say this is 40K, all the whole life, right? Well, you know, before I show them this, I usually have it pulled down on my screen and I'll have it, the camera facing me, just me and them, me and the client. And then, you know, those freedom of choice certificates, you guys know those things. I pull it up and I say, no, Joe and Mary, everything I'm going to show you is going to have to do with this freedom of choice certificate. This way, at the worst time of your family's life, not if, but when, Mary, you can go down to your choice of any funeral home and take care of everything right on the spot. Now, before I show you everything, and I just went over the whole how the freedom of choice certificate works, right? We already do that. before I show you everything, they always make me ask, if you set aside just $5 for every $100 that you brought home in your check every month to protect your family, God forbid something were to happen, would that drastically change your lifestyle or take food off the table? No? Okay, great. Because what they didn't want to do was show you something that you really liked but couldn't afford. So everything I'm going to show you, Joe, is going to have to do with anywhere right around between 3 and 5% of what you bring home a month. And option A is going to be 100,000. This is going to take care of everything for you. You know, whatever you guys like to say in your option A, right? And that's only going to come out to, you know, $280 a month, just for an example. My option A needs to be high. I need to throw that up there. Price condition them a little bit. All right. Get it up there. What do you guys got? You know, bills $280 a month are common. Like people pay that for cable, cell phones. People pay that for car insurance. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a common bill. Okay. So option A, 280, just for this example. Option B, let's say that's 150 or 160. Okay. And then option C, let's just say it's $100. My option B is going to be what most people go with in your situation. So option B, guys, is what most people go with in your situation. I'm not saying like all the extra stuff that people say in there. I'm just saying this is what most people go in your situation. It's 60,000 the whole life. It's going to get you this much cash value, this much paid up at 65. It's only going to be $160 a month, which is like, you know, $6 a day, you know, whatever it may be. I don't know. Break it down. You could break it down daily. Some people break it down weekly. I don't care how you do it. All right. I like to just show them the monthly cost, and then I'll use something tangible like Man Reed has a coffee. I'm like, this is like 2 coffees a day for your family. You know what I mean? If you go to Starbucks, it's 1. You know what I'm saying? So whatever they like to do, you need to find that out through rapport so that when you're coming down to closing, you can use something tangible to compare it to, like, you know, Mountain Dew or bullets. People who like to hunt, you know, a bullet is like over $1 nowadays. Like one bullet's like $1. They used to be like 60, 70 cents. Now they're like $1. So a bullet, you know, what coffees are good examples because everyone drinks coffee. Pizza. This is like 1 pizza a week for your family. You know what I mean? Figure something out where they spend their money. You know, we used to, back in the day, there was those DVDs. Remember DVDs, guys? You know, yeah, right. So that's funny because those are like almost gone. But DVDs were like 20 to 25 bucks, right? This is like one DVD. And then some people would literally do movie night and they would buy 2 DVDs every weekend. You know, you ever go into those dudes' houses that have like, look at my DVD collection. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, we'd go into some of these trailers and people would have like a DVD wall, right? It was funny. So basically, now those guys are probably like, what the heck am I doing? Everything's digital. Anyways, but like people would buy 2 of them a weekend. So this is like 1 DVD a weekend for your family back in the day is what we would say, you know. Figure out where they spend their money, you know. If they're a little bit bigger and they like to eat fast food, like this is like 1 McChicken a day for your family. You trying to tell them you can't, what's more important? Like, come on, have fun with them. Like, dude, if they're telling you they can't afford it and it's $1 a day, like what, like you could get them a chicken for $1, you could protect your family. What's more important? You know what I mean? Like, come on. And don't be afraid to call people out on their bullshit either, guys. Like sometimes you have to tell them what's up. Like sometimes you have to be that person who tells them because no one else is going to tell them. And your mentality needs to be, if they don't buy it off of you, they're never getting it and they're going to die without it. So you have to give them literally everything that you got. Like I'm talking like, listen, if he don't buy it off of you, he's going to die next week and his family's screwed. That's the type of urgency you got to have. Like you literally can change the trajectory of his family's life if you can just explain it the right way. Because if you explain it the right way, guys, what is it? It's a no-brainer. Like you're not sitting there going, you're not a no-cost delivery guy, we used to call it, right? Don't be just sitting down with people delivering them their no-cost benefits, right? That's an expensive business, especially when we used to spend money on gas. You ain't making no money, spending money, giving out no cost all day, right? Don't be a no-cost delivery guy. So, you know, when you sit down with these people, like be ready to rock, like get yourself right, put on a nice shirt, brush your teeth, do your hair, right? Get excited, do some jumping jacks before, get your energy going, right? Like I for real, I be bringing the excitement. That's why people buy off me because I'm excited. I'm happy. I smile at them. You know what I mean? I get the closing. I don't get no rebuttals. You guys get rebuttals. You're doing it wrong. Just do it all proactively. Literally. Like if you get rebuttals, put it this way. If you get a rebuttal, you did something wrong. That's need to be your attitude. That needs to be your attitude. For real. Like, what do you mean you can't afford it? What? Like almost like you're lost. Like, what did you just say to me? Like, I don't even get it. Sometimes if people are like, yeah, I just don't want, I'll be like, I don't even know how to move forward because no one ever told me this before. You know what I mean? What do you mean no? What are you talking? We just went over everything that it does for your family. You don't want to do that? It doesn't make sense. So don't forget, there are those people out there. Okay. Here's the key though. Thinking big. You gotta get that first one up there. Ashley did a workshop on Tuesday, right? What'd she tell you? People cancel their policies when they're low because why? Because they don't find much value in the program. So if they're paying $280 a month, they're gonna see the value in the program and they're gonna keep it. Right? But when it's $30 a month and it comes down to getting a bottle of Crown Royal or protecting their family, you never know, man. Some people might choose that Crown Royal, right? So think big. Like you guys are all young in this room, think big. Like please think big. Whatever you're thinking, double it. That's what I was told. Like when I was coming up, I was like, I don't know how these people are writing $2,000-$3,000 deals. And you know what they would always just say? Just think big. They would say, dude, whatever you're writing down on the paper for him, just next time you go to write it down, double it. That's all you got to do. If you're going to show them $160 a month, show them $320 for their option A. Just do it. Try it out. See how it happens. And I was like, okay, I did it and it worked. And I was like, holy shit, it really works. So thinking big, showing them the value in the program. People like you pay for what you get, right? People aren't afraid to pay to protect the most important thing for the family, which is life insurance. Like they spend $200-$300 a month on alcohol sometimes, or people all smoke marijuana nowadays, right? That stuff's expensive. So, and you guys all drink a coffee every day. I see every single one of you guys in here with coffee, Dunkin' Donuts, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Starbucks. We all have coffees in here. Like you're getting one of these every day when you come in. You're spending $90 a month on coffee, but you can't get somebody to set aside $90 a month to protect their family. Where are you at? Right? Where are you at? You got to start thinking bigger. Just because you're not able to afford it, don't mean they can't. Okay. So another tip, it's tax season, guys. It's tax season, right? If you're running in the inner city, get them to pay for the quarter or the year if you can. All right, that's important. Dude, you get these people getting these tax returns right now. I used to literally, tax season was always good. February, March, April, people start getting those tax returns in. Some people like to pay for their program for the whole year up front. Some people, I'll tell them just do it quarterly, but you get them quarterly, you're pretty much, you only need one more payment and you make it through the retention issues, right? But don't forget, we're not just worrying about retention. We're worrying about them having this forever. So serve, don't sell. Just because they got a nice tax return, don't sell them $300 a month if you know they can't afford it, all right? But if it makes sense to their family and they're getting their tax return, some people like to pay it all up yearly. Don't forget about that. Tax season's here, guys. You can click that annual button and get it all taken care of. Locks you in, good retention immediately, and you get renewals. You get your normal, and then they'll just give it to you. Yeah.
How do you pitch that? How do you suggest that to pay quarterly or annually?
I don't. I just ask them. I say, typically we set this up monthly. I know and I mention it sometimes. Like I can tell that type of sit. If you're in that type of sit, if you can tell, like, hey, listen, this person probably can do this. If they have a bunch of kids and they got all these tax write-up, getting all this money every year, say, hey, you just mention it every tax season. I know it's tax season right now, guys. Every once in a while, Some members that we sit down with, they actually like to get their programs and just take care of them all up front, you know, and they usually do it right around tax season. It is tax season, so that option is completely yours. Okay. You can actually call in the home office and switch it over if you'd want. But hey, it doesn't hurt. Just know they have money. That's all. Just know they have money. Like when taxes come, they get their money, right? So don't let them tell you that they don't have the money, because they do. And they're just going to spend it on some dumbass big screen TV, or, you know, they're going to go to the Gucci store and there'll be a line. Do you guys ever go to the outlets over here? There's literally at the Gucci store, every single day, there's a line all the way down the hall, around the corner and down. It's insane. I'm like, where are these people getting this money? It's tax season. That's all. It's tax season, right? So just know that they're gonna spend it on some dumbass stuff that ain't gonna matter in a year from now, when they could have just had this in place as well. Okay. So how do I close? Now, option A, like I said, I want to put it high. Option B is what most people go with in your situation. Option C is to get your foot in the door and keep it comfortable. Okay. So Joe and Mary, keeping in mind that your family could use all of this coverage, and then when something happens to you, which option do you choose to protect your family with? And then I just shut up. You just don't say nothing. You zip it, right? First who speaks loses. You sit there and you don't say nothing. And let it get awkward. Let it get awkward. Let it, if it needs to, let it. All right. But listen, once they pick, they're going to pick B, let's just say. B, as soon as he says B, I circle it. And I'm like, why did you choose B? Because you said that's what most people go with, and that seems like it's the right program for me too. Okay, but why is that important to you? Just, you know, it's definitely affordable, and I make him sell himself a little bit. I ain't gonna just be like, oh, you picked B, all right, great, let's go. No, I'm gonna ask him why. Then I'm gonna make him sell himself on it by asking him why. Why is that important to you? Ready? And then after that, I gotta take it away now. So Joe, as much as I'd love you to have the benefits, unfortunately, not everyone can qualify for the benefits. So let's just make sure you can qualify, and then we'll get you wrapped up here. Now, have you ever had any AA or NA in the past 5 years? Any hard drugs, street drugs, such as cocaine, barbiturates, hallucinogens? No? Okay. In the past 5 years, had you had a DUI, DWI, any arrests or felonies? No? And then in the next 2 years, do you plan on flying your own plane? No? Okay, great. And by that time, you should be on page 2 of the super combo, just straight assuming the sale. Guys, assume the sale. It's so easy. Literally, you ABC them, right? You take it away. You assume the sale. You fill out all of page 2. Fill out all page 2 from the top all the way down to the bottom, right? And then click on page 1, all right? And give the money away. And just give the money away. All right, we just went through all the medical questions. Looks like you're in great health, Joe and Mary. Now, Joe, if something did, God forbid, happen to you, who do you want to be first in line to receive this benefit? And his wife's sitting literally right next to him. And I'm just like, who do you want to be first in line to receive this benefit? Oh, Mary. Okay, great. She's not punching you or making you say that, right? All right, awesome. So we got Mary as the primary. Now, if something did, God forbid, happen to the both of you, who would be next in line? Oh, that would be your daughter? Okay, great. So we're going to need her phone number as well. So grab her phone number for me, right? Get the daughter's name, get the phone number. And then I asked Mary the same thing. Mary, God forbid something were to happen to you, who do you want to be first in line? Joe? Okay, great. I just had to ask, just had to make sure, right? And then, you know, if something did happen to both of you, who do you want to be? Oh, you want to be your daughter too? Okay, great. Perfect. Now I gave the money away and it's done. It's done. It's game over. Like, what do you mean? And then after you give the money away, I literally put in their address. I put in their 2 phone numbers. You gotta have 2 phone numbers. And then I put in their employer's name, and I work it up. Right? And then I get their birthplace, their height, weight, right? And then what I do is I get their driver's license, and I get their soc. And then I say, okay, well, the last thing is, Joe, and I'll scroll all the way down to the bottom of page 1, is you know, typically we used to come out to your house and deal with this face-to-face. So it says, please attach a voided check. As you see, it's bold right here on the bottom of page 1. Right? It says, please attach a voided check. Obviously, we can't do that. So what they have us doing is just entering the check information in on the application. So who do you bank with? Okay, great. Go ahead and grab the account and routing number, and then we're going to be able to pick the date that you want it to come out every single month as well, okay? And then he just gets up and gets it. He just gets up and gets it. And then once he does that, you just hit validate and you sign it. And then you go over your solidification, your rated risk, your what comes next form. You guys realize I've seen people like make sales and not go over to what comes next form. Like, what? What are you doing? You make a sale, you got to go over at the end of the sale. Like, do you want to have good retention? That's what we're going to roll into is retention, right? So to have good retention, guys, it's important. I started out in this business running and gunning, referrals only. Retention went straight to the dumps because I was running and gunning, didn't know what I was doing, right? And when my retention went down to the dumps, you don't get no advance sometimes, no bonus. And that's when life gets hard. That's when most people give up. But there's a way not to have bad retention. And if I would have just learned it and not have to go through it, I'd probably be in a lot better spot. But every single one of us learn differently, right? So most of you guys are going to have to go through it. So retention, just so you know, net to gross, your first 4 months. If you're here, Steven Shill's here for, a month now. Your first 4 months, there's no net to gross requirements. You can literally not have to worry about anything. You're always going to get a bonus, okay? Month 5 and 6, your net to gross got to be 84%. Who was number 84? Who's a famous football player? He's 86.
Yeah.
84, Randy Moss, right? So that's how I always remember it because I'm like, I can't remember numbers. Well, number 84. So month 5 and 6 needs to be Randy Moss, right? Month 7 through 12, it needs to be 80%. Who's number 80? You guys are bad with people, huh? He said, what'd you say?
Chris Carter.
He said Donald Driver.
Bird.
Okay. So just try to remember somebody. And that's how I did it. You know what I mean? Now, after 12 months, you go on retention, right? Your retention needs to be minimum of 73%. If it's less than 73%, you get no bonus. Well, you get reduced bonus and then you get no bonus. But here, we're going to go up because once you hit 81 to 84.99% retention, like I had last month on my level 1, you get an extra 10% of whatever your bonus is. So 81 to 84.99. So listen, it pays to have good retention. You get an extra 10%. I know 2 weeks last week, my bonus was over $1,000. Well, every time my bonus was over $1,000, I basically made an extra 10%, which is an extra $100 just for doing the same work that you guys all do. They rewarded me because I had good retention, right? Now from 85 to 88.99, you get a 20% bump in your bonus. And then 85 to 88.99, you get a 20% extra bump in your bonus. And then 89% plus, you get a 30% bump in your bonus. So if I wrote a $1,000 bonus, I would make an extra $300 for the week. Adds up. So you got to know where to find information. Like you guys need to get you're entrepreneurs. You got to figure out where to find this information, right? So the ARC. Does everyone know where the ARC is? Not Noah's Ark, the ARC, the ARC, the Agency Resource Center, right? Everyone know where that's at? All right, so AILife.com at the top. It's at the top of AILife.com. You use your e-app username and login to get into it. And anytime you need any information on the ARC, it has everything. There's a section called Agency that can help you read your ICM reports and all your bonus reports and all the stuff that you have no clue about. So go on there and play around with it. There's a section called POS that could be helpful hints. You can change draft dates, change bank accounts, do reopens there. There's AML compliance. So if you haven't done that, and I know every once in a while they make us go through that. Policy issue. So if you ever get a trial placed, you'll have to go into policy issue in the ARC and place that. Request the redrafts as well. If you get somebody that comes back with an invalid bank account, you're going to have to get in there and request the redraft. Okay. Underwriting, there's all the questionnaires. every questionnaire that you would need. So say you got a sale uploaded and you're at home, but you don't have the questionnaire because it's here. You could get it from the ARC. Okay. Spotlight, you can get your convention numbers, the world's greatest bonus, the details of that, your leadership bonus. If you're an MGA, you can learn how to get a good growth bonus. Like there's people in our agency that should get $100,000 growth bonus GO this year. It's insane, just in growth bonuses. Okay. So when dealing with like good retention, you got to know when to trial stuff. How about this? When in doubt, just trial it. If you have any doubt about it at all, just trial it. It's going to come through in 4 to 6 weeks, and it's going to be a gift right when you need it the most, right? Try to trial a deal a week if you can, you know, then you just start coming through, 60 days down the road, you'll start having all these trials coming through weekly. Imagine that. That'd be pretty cool. So if they like trialing applications, a lot of people don't notice, but if they take over 1,000 milligrams of medication, got to trial it. If they're a smoker with asthma, you got to trial it. If they have diabetes, just trial it. You're not getting away with saying they have 500 milligrams of metformin, guys. She's trialing it. You know what I'm saying? Like no one, like it's a trial. Just right. If they got diabetes, it's a trial. All right, just do it. High blood pressure is okay, but if they're overweight and have high blood pressure, no, it's not okay. Anything T4 and above is a trial.
I had a T2 that got tried.
She had
It was right
She had a
after-
T2 got trialed because they probably had high blood pressure or something else wrong with them as well.
It was high blood pressure.
See, anything on the T chart, if there's any like extra questionnaire, they're going to trial it. So prepare your client because they might have expected that premium to come out. So you need to know this stuff. You need to do your own underwriting. There's a flashcard on your e-app. Like go in there and look at this stuff. Type in the underwriting manual. Call your manager when you're in the sit. Right? If it's important, call him twice. He'll answer. That's the rule. Like call me twice in a row, I'll answer. One time I might not. Second time I'm in there. I know it's important. Right? So when you're running, okay. Now, if you are trying to have a big week, like next week, we're gonna have a monster ass week. We're gonna write 200,000 as an agency, right? Well, if you're coming across a trial next week and you're like got back to back appointments, don't sit there and spend 2-3 hours getting all the damn information in the e-app because they have 29 medications. Just put them on your schedule for an earlier time the next day or something when you can just bang out that trial and keep going. Because if you're busy, like you don't have time to be sitting there doing that. Just get them rescheduled where you can come back and get on it. And I hate saying that because I'd rather you guys just bang it out if you could, but you being new, you're going to be a little bit slower. And if you have a booked up schedule and we're going for a big week like this, you got to be using your time right. So I don't want you wasting your time 3 hours on a day writing up a trial application when you can do that on like a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday. Okay. What do we got here? We already went over that. Oh, do you guys know the bonus, like how to earn bonuses? So from 0 to 999 is 0%. Okay, from 1,000 to 34.99 is 10%. 3,500 to 54.99 is 14%. 5,500 to 74.99 is 16%. 7,500 to 11,999 is 18%, and then 12,000 plus is 20%. So if I asked you right now, what is 16%, Manreet? Would you know what the range is? Two. Nope. 74.99. So you should just write it down real quick when I'm going over it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I asked you, because you're just sitting there. But just know your bonuses. It's important. You guys realize if you could get up in the bonus like after week 1 or 2, like you can really make some good income throughout the month. Who wouldn't like getting $1,000 bonus for a week? That's amazing. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing. So how do you have good retention? Just trial it. If it's shady, it's shady or not. You are with the client, so don't be that guy. You're just gonna hurt yourself. Make sure you go over rated risk. So what's rated risk, right? The 3 things that can happen: standard, trial, or decline. When it's trialed, 1 or 2 things can happen. One, we can either keep your premium the same and lower your coverage, or keep your coverage the same and higher your premium. Whatever's more comfortable for you. If it's less than $10, we're just going to take it and we'll let you know. All right. Solidification. Everyone know the solidification. I don't got to sit here and go over the verbiage for that. Right. But there's a bunch of different solidifications out there. We're not making any peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on ours, but there's a bunch of different solidifications out there. Just make sure that, you say the words and they work. Okay. And then the what comes next form. This is something that literally changed the game for me with retention, is the what comes next form. So I had bad retention before, guys. It was horrible, probably worse than everyone could ever imagine. I started really taking my time at the end and going over the details of what to expect next. So the what comes next form is important because it literally says, tomorrow, your premium of $160 will be deducted from your account. If it doesn't post within 1 to 5 days, please give me a call so we can make sure everything is okay. Right? Within the next 7 days of tomorrow, it's very possible you're going to get a call from our home office. Now, that will most likely come from a 1-800 number saying American Income Life. They'll be calling to verify your information. They'll be calling to ask how I did, say great things about me. Of course, it comes back, right? And don't say I was, talking crazy to you over Zoom or, taking all your bandwidth or hopping in your internet. I don't know what some crazy jokes can be with over Zoom. I used to say, don't say I was in here kicking your dog or something like that, right? And then, say good things about me. And then within the next 6 to 8 weeks, your policy will actually be in your hands in the mail. So it typically only takes about 3 to 5 weeks, but we're saying 6 to 8 weeks just because of what's going on right now. I'm sure you guys can understand. And they're like, yeah. Okay, great. So typically, Joe, you would sign it right here. I'm just going to write your name in here. And then here's my name, my phone number, and my email. Okay. And this is actually going to be in your folder, your blue folder that I have right here. You're going to be getting this blue folder in the mail. All right. It's going to come in this vanilla envelope. Okay. And when it comes, make sure you open it up and put this with your important information. Where do you think it would be a good place to put it? It'd be what, you have a filing cabinet, you have a safe. Yeah, put it in there. Don't put it in a safety deposit box, right? I tell them that at the end too. And then basically I'm letting them know like what to expect. Now, here's another thing is you just went over to what comes next form. You just told them you're sending out their package. You better send out their package. You guys see it all the time. You're making these phone calls. People ain't getting their packages. What the heck's up with that? What's going on? You lazy, dude. You lazy. I'm giving double the presentations. I guarantee I'm on top of my mail. Guaranteed, right? So have a system. What's your system for your mailing? All right, listen, if you send your mail out every Thursday, just tell the client that, hey, listen, I'm going to be sending your package out this Thursday. You'll probably receive it by the end of next week. And just give them something to look forward to, right? And make sure you send it, okay? So what happens if your retention drops? What happens if your retention drops? You lose your bonus. Sometimes you lose your advance. If something happens on your report, call the client immediately. Don't be afraid to call these people. You sat down with them for hours. You booked them. You sat down with them. You went over their benefits. You got all their information. Don't be afraid to talk to them, okay? Call your client immediately. And it's always usually going to be about the money. It's always going to be like, oh, I just, couldn't afford it. Well, listen. Here's the great thing. If they don't want it, say, I just need to get you on a quick Zoom call. There might be some money we can get out of the program for you. And then once you get them on, because they're going to always want to get that money. Once you get them on, just reduce them down. Say, hey, Joe, real quick, what was the reason why we got this for your family? On the bottom of your summary sheet, it should say that. It was because it's going to protect your income. It was going to pay off your house. It's going to provide your kids with college education. Okay, great. Now, that was only $160 a month. What we can do is maybe lower your income from 5 years to 3 years. And that will probably be more comfortable for you, right, Joe? And that would only go down to $130. That's more comfortable for you, right? Yeah, you could do that. All right, perfect. So what we're going to do is we're just going to reduce you down. And we're going to keep your program in place. You know what I'm saying? And you just reopen it right there. And all you have to do is have them sign a form, right? Reopen are so easy. Reinstatements are so easy now, guys. It's literally all done through the computer. We used to have to drive out to their house, knock on their door, sit down with them, get them to sign papers, and then leave. Now we can literally click a button, see them on the screen, have them sign a document, send it back, and it's over. you should not be slacking on business that's falling off. You should get it back on immediately. You sold them. You sold them once already. Like, what are you doing? Get them back on. Just reduce them down because it's usually going to be about the money. And then the main thing with retention is the serve, not to sell. It's the serve, not to sell, guys. Like, oh my God. Talk to them like you're talking to your aunt and uncle. Why are you guys like, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy out there, okay? Like, show them that you care. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? Show them that you care. Think of them as, like I said, I brainwash myself like there's somebody in my lead pack that's gonna die if I don't get to them. Yep. And if I don't get to them and they die without it, it's my fault. I put that on my shoulders because then that makes me work a little bit harder, right? But have fun this weekend, guys. It's all about activity. The main thing I'm seeing is people just ain't getting enough activity. How are we giving 5, 6, 7 presentations in a week? That's like should be done every half, right? So we got to get our activity up. First couple referrals are going to be hard to get. Get the referrals, get them on your schedule. All right? Let's have fun with the people this weekend. Listen, you got to collect referrals this weekend because next week we're going to have our big week, right? So you guys got the VIBs. You know how to do all the different avenues, right? Get them on your schedule. Get some referrals. And let's fucking crush it this weekend. We're behind. We got to do, big business over this week, like 60,000. So let's get it going. Let's see who pops off first today. I'm gonna try and lead from the front with you guys, but let's have some fun. If you guys need anything, let me know. Hopefully that was helpful. I don't know. I just went over a couple things, but if you guys need anything, have any questions, you know where to find me. All right. Thank you guys.
Thanks,
So
George.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.